Hey, I'm Parker. Let's talk about speed wrenches, or as you may call them, 1/4-inch hex bit drivers. In the movie business, we use these speed wrenches because they are so quick and easy to tighten down grub nuts on various fittings, like these Hollander rail fittings, or as we call them, speed rail fittings, and other bits of hardware we have around. Everybody's got to have one of these. This is a speed wrench. All right, so I've got 10 speed wrenches in front of me. We're going to go over their weights and lengths and prices real quick before we get to the torque test. Up first, we've got the Milwaukee, 2.66 ounces or 76 grams. It's 1997. Well, this just came out maybe a month ago. Older brother, been around, seen it all. Klein tools. This one is $15.98. You can get that at Lowe's. We've got the Weeha. You can also get this at Lowe's, but it comes with a bit set, so it's $35. This is the Presta-Cycles. This is my favorite. I've ordered maybe 10 of these off of Amazon just because of the length and the overall profile of it. It's very slim. Even when you pair it with a standard 1-inch bit, it's only 1 1/8 inches long, so you can get in some tight spaces with that. I think they are $35. Next up is the Craftsman. This guy's super lightweight, but doesn't really offer much else other than that. The teeth are, you know, okay, but not my first pick, especially with something this small. Things this small tend to get lost or left in the washer and dryer. Just saying. You might have seen this next one paired with some IKEA furniture you may have purchased, or some other furniture that came by boat. This is the Irontron. I don't even know. It's only $8. Oh, the Craftsman was $15. This is only $8 or free if it came with some furniture, but it's super squeaky. There's not a lot of teeth. They're just not very great. Next up, we have Clutch. This is a 3/8 inch finger ratchet, is what they call it. We're going to try this on the torque test and see if we can even get to that 16 foot-pounds that we need. Next, we got the Powerbilt 3/8 inch drive ratchet. That comes in at $20. Oh, sorry. The Clutch, that's only $15. The Powerbilt 3/8 inch drive ratchet, that's $20. The other Powerbilt 1/4 inch hex driver and 1/4 inch square driver, that's going to be $13.27. This is nice because you can put your standard grub nut bit in here, your 3/16 hex drive bit, and also your 9/16 square drive for your 3/8 bolts. Last but not least, a buddy of mine recently turned me onto this one, the Aries 420/61. Now I know what you're thinking. You forgot the speed wrench from Film Tools and the speed wrench from the Grip Store. But I've used them both. Not a huge fan. The one from Film Tools is huge. Sure, you can get a lot of purchase on it, but the teeth rust out really easily, and with the weather that we have over here on the East Coast, I've just never seen them really last very long. And the one from the Grip Store, the little dial on the back, is fantastic, but the selector switch drives me insane. It's always flipping over to the side. You don't want it to be right in the middle of doing some crazy work. So for this demonstration only, we're going to stick with off-the-shelf store-bought speed wrenches. Here are them all ranked by weight and by length, and you can draw your own conclusions about what will happen in the torque test challenge. So I was doing some research on Hollander fittings. I got on their website, started Googling around. You can see my little Hollander speed rail catalog over there, and a guy from a safety guy from one of the shows I was working on asked me if there was a torque spec for the grub nuts, and of course I gave him some snarky grip response and said, yeah man, we use the German standard just as long as it's good and tight. And he chuckled, but it got me thinking, there's gotta be a torque spec out there somewhere. So I got to Googling. On the Hollander website, it says that grub nut is to be torqued at 16 foot-pounds when a torque wrench is available. If a torque wrench is not available, the grub nut should make contact with the pipe and then make one more full revolution. And based on that math, if it's a standard grub nut, which is a 3/8/16 thread, then it should be at or surpass that torque specification. So what we're going to do is I've got 6 of these short barrel crosses on a 3-foot piece of pipe, and I'm going to chuck them up in the vise and torque them all down in 1-foot increments and see if we can break them loose with all these speed wrenches. And I'm curious to see actually how hard it is with some of the smaller speed wrenches, as opposed to some of the longer ones and some of the ones with a little bit more oomph behind them. Inch-pound torque wrench to foot-pounds, or foot-pounds to inch-pounds. So what we've got here, we're doing 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 25 foot-pounds. So that is 168, 180, 192, 204, 216, 228, 240, and then we switch to our big wrench for the last 3 of 252 inch-pounds, 264 inch-pounds, and 300 inch-pounds. So 100, good selector switch, 90 teeth is advertised, 180, or 168, no big deal, 180, that's tighter, but still no big deal. 192, no big deal. 204, no big deal. 216, no big deal. 228, tougher, but still no big deal. 240, no big deal. 252, wow, okay. That's tight. That's tough. 252, so that was what? 20 foot-pounds? 264 was easy for some reason, and 300. Okay. Oh, okay. So we couldn't make it to 25 foot-pounds. That's just crazy. 168. Okay. I got it loose. That was not fun at all. 180. Mother. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's cool and all, you know, being able to do this, right? Maybe if you got a really long one to do, you can get it snug and then finish it up with a longer handled tool. But that, for actually tightening grub nuts, that is not a good tool. Because it seems tight, but you're not even breaking 180 foot-pounds. The amount of testing. These are the rankings. So are these wrenches getting the grub nuts tight enough? I think so, but some of them maybe not so much. The shorter handled ones and the palm style seem to not work well at all. And that's just based on what the torque wrench is telling me. If we had a if we had a digital torque wrench, we could know more for sure. But I feel like this was a fun test just to see kind of how tight I could actually get one of these tiny little wrenches to get, because they're super handy, and you know, they're kind of a staple of the industry at this point. I would take away from this, if anything, that the handle shape, as well as, you know, the comfort, has a lot to do with how much I like a speed wrench. Like the Milwaukee one started kind of digging into my hand a little bit, even though I want to like it a lot because it's just like the Klein one, but it says Milwaukee, and I love Milwaukee. I don't know if I'll carry it just because of the clip. And some of the other ones, like the Presta Cycles long handle bit driver. I mean, this one's super, super comfortable, and it also has, you know, that in the bottom too for another bit driver. All in all, they performed pretty much how I thought they would, with the kind of higher end, more expensive stuff doing better than the cheaper crap. But if you took something away from this video, give me a thumbs up, comment. If you're a grip too, comment, like, subscribe, all that crazy business. I'm gonna eat this pretzel now and drink another beer, so see you later. The Presta Cycles long handle skinny guy in combination with this Mac 16 millimeter long 1/4 inch hex drive 3/16 hex bit makes for a super ultra low profile tool and quite the pleasure to work with. If you're looking for this 3/16 half cut bit 16 millimeters long, it is code BHX316SB. I'm pretty sure it's a Mac product.